Now, under the topic, the notion of commerce, we have already looked at the definition of commerce. The next lesson we are supposed to look at under this topic is the branches of commerce. Let us look at the branches of commerce. Now, when we were defining commerce, we clearly said that commerce is made up of two aspects. We talk of the aspect that is involved in the buying and selling of goods, which we said it is trade, and we talk of the other aspect which is involved in the distribution of goods from the producer to the consumer, which we clearly said it is aids to trade. Now, these aspects of commerce are actually the branches of commerce. So it means commerce is divided into two branches, and those branches are trade and aids to trade. Now, there are two types of trade. We have home trade and we have foreign trade. We also have two types of home trade. We have retail trade and wholesale trade. Now, there are also two types of foreign trade. We have import trade and we have export trade. We have 6 aids to trade. The aids to trades are banking, we have advertisement, we have communication, we also have warehousing, we have insurance, and the last one that we have is transport. So from this diagram, we can see that commerce is divided into two branches. We have trade and then we have aid to trade. We have two types of trades. We have home trade and we have foreign trade. We have two types of home trades. We have retail trade and wholesale trade. And under foreign trade, we have two types, import trade and export trade. And we said there are 6 aids to trade, which are banking, advertisement, communication, warehousing, insurance, and transport. Now let us look at one of the branches of commerce, which is trade. What is trade? This is the buying and selling of goods and services for profit. There are two types of trade. We have home trade and we have foreign trade. Now let us look at home trade. This is trade that takes place within the country. Now the main reason for which we say that home trade takes place within the country, it is because both the buyer and the seller are found within the same country. And this is the main reason why we also call home trade as internal trade. Now let us continue. Home trade is divided into wholesale trade and a retailer trade. Let us look at wholesale trade. This is the buying of goods in bulk by wholesalers from the producers and selling to the retailers in smaller quantities. Now, I want us to understand that the person who is involved in wholesale trade is known as the wholesaler. Let us look at retail trade. This is the buying of goods in small quantities from the wholesalers and selling to the consumers in smaller quantities or bits. What I really want us to understand as far as retail trade is concerned is that the retailer always sells to the final consumer. If I should represent the wholesaler by letter W and I represent the producer by letter P and represent the retailer by letter R and represent the consumer by letter C, then we are saying that the wholesaler buys from the producer and sells to the retailer, and then the retailer sells to the final consumer. Also, the wholesaler buys in bulk from the producer and sells to the retailer in small quantities, and the retailer sells to the consumer in bits or smaller quantities. Now, from what I have just drafted, it means it is very easy for us to define the wholesaler and the retailer. We shall say that the wholesaler is one that buys in bulk from the producer and sells in smaller quantities to the retailer, while the retailer is one that buys in small quantities from the wholesaler and sells in bits to the consumer. Now let us look at foreign trade. When we talk of foreign trade is trade that takes place between countries. For example, somebody is in Nigeria and the person is selling goods in Britain, or someone is in Britain and the person is selling goods in America. Alright, when foreign trade takes place between two countries, only between two countries like Cameroon and Nigeria, we shall call it bilateral trade. While if the trade is taking place between more than two countries, we shall call it a multilateral trade. Now, there are two types of foreign trade. We have import trade and we have export trade. Import trade is the buying of goods outside the country. For example, somebody is in Nigeria and the person is ordering for goods from Britain, or somebody is in Chad and the person is buying goods from Nigeria. Then when we talk of export trade is the selling of goods outside the country it was produced. For example, goods are produced in Nigeria and they are being sold in France.